Warm greetings to you, billionaires all over the world. This is Mr. Marcia Chengo presenting on theory in management. And today, remember, this is our Masscom studies, our virtual commercial classroom on business studies. Okay, so I think we are good to go. Let's start. Today we are going to start about the Hawthorne Experiment. Okay, all right. Let me just maybe as a background. This was an experiment that was performed by Professor Elton Mayo, one of the professors at Harvard Business School. All right. What was this experiment all about, so that maybe you can understand? Hawthorne effect, which states that the Hawthorne effect states that changes in employee behavior takes place when managers decide to monitor them. Okay, changes are brought about when managers start monitoring the employees. So this is, maybe they can ask you in an examination, Hawthorne effect. What does the Hawthorne effect states? It states that changes in employee behavior takes place when the managers decide to monitor them. It's obvious. When you are being monitored, your manager, your supervisor, your boss is actually following what you are doing, or is actually nearby, or is monitoring your work. Obviously, you will change your behavior, you become more focused, and there will be less mistakes. So this is the idea of this whole theory on human relations. In fact, when someone is watching you while you are working on a task, then you may even be more focused, right? It's obvious, right? In order to please your manager, or perform a lot better. Okay, then also some might also need this background information, like when was this, okay? When, I think it's also very critical for other people maybe to know when was this, okay? I think it's very critical. When was this? This was carried out in 1924. I think this some time back, okay? And where was it performed? This experiment was done at West Electric Hawthorne plant in Chicago. Okay, that's where the whole business was done. Okay, so that's what I want to do. I want to explain to you so that you understand, you can actually follow what will be happening. So I'm saying this is an experiment by Professor Elton Mayo and the team, and this experiment is popularly known of the Hawthorne effect. Okay, the impact of supervision, the impact of monitoring the workers' work or task. Okay, so let me get to the nitty-gritties of this one. I think we need to proceed to the next item. Okay, let me try to get to the next item. Sorry, I think on our next item we want to see the assumptions. Okay, I think we want to see the assumptions which Elton Mayo and the Professor Elton Mayo, to be precise, and the team, the assumption that they had. The first assumption when they were carrying out this experiment or this research was worker productivity improves when working conditions such as lighting are improved. This was the very assumption that they had. So this was an industry, remember, in 1924, long back, right? So the idea was, if somehow we work on improving the lighting within the factory, this will somehow improve worker productivity. What is worker productivity? I think this is very clear. Worker productivity, we are saying this is the output per worker, all right? Worker productivity, it means output per worker. Okay, so the original assumption that they had was, if the lighting within the factory is improved, then automatically the output per worker will be improved. Okay, but this, I think you can actually see that it was actually proved wrong. Okay, so we can actually have H1 assumption. Worker productivity is not influenced by working conditions only. Okay, this was the conclusion, I think. But this the first assumption is lighting within the factory improves productivity. So let's see what actually happened, right? The experiment and how it was carried out. Workers were put in two groups, that is the control group. Like in every scientific experiment, we need a control where we use it to compare results. There was a control group and the main group, right? But another point to note here, crucially, before every major change, the researchers discussed the new changes with the work group. Okay, there was a discussion that we are going to improve the lighting conditions before the conditions are changed. So you can actually see another critical factor that is coming in. There is concern by management that actually are consulting the workforce on what they're going to do before they actually implement that. Okay, so workers' conditions, e.g. lighting, were changed and productivity in both group roles. In both groups roles. This is something else. How come is that the results in the control group is also changing and the results in the main group is changing? This came as a surprise and shocked the researchers. More so, lighting was decreased, but productivity improved, and this made Mayo and his team to further research on what then, apart from working condition, is actually stimulating or motivating the workforce. Because actually, this H0 assumption was proved wrong. Worker productivity is actually improved when lighting is improved. When lighting was improved, productivity increased, but when they decreased again the lighting after discussing with the workforce, the productivity again increased. So it means there was another factor that was actually stimulating the workforce to work more and produce more. Okay, so this is the matrix that they then came up with, okay, which is very critical. I will define the key terms on the vertical axis. We have got on the vertical axis. Let me try to get a pen here so that you can actually follow what I'm actually trying to explain to you, so that you can actually understand. On the vertical axis, we have got what we call the norms. Okay, these norms are simply the agreed values, what is highly esteemed by the group. Okay, that's the norms, their values. Let's say they can have norms of punctuality, efficiency, and so on. These are the norms. Okay, then on the horizontal axis, we have got what we call group cohesiveness. Okay, these are the factors that were brought in the conclusion of the whole experiment. Okay, let me show you. Right, so we're saying group cohesiveness. I think this is very easy. This is how far the group or the work group click together, right? If members in a group are clicking very well, or they work together closely, it means there is a high degree of cohesiveness. This is the attachment that they have among themselves, this the group cohesiveness. Okay, so we are going to analyze this matrix in using these two variables, the norms on the vertical axis and the group cohesiveness on the horizontal axis. So we want to determine the impact. The purpose of this one is we want to try and determine the impact on productivity, right? Let's say the norms, the values within the group are very low. Okay, so if I go to the far left or on the vertical axis, the values are low and the group cohesiveness again is low. It means this we have low, actually not low, this will have no impact on productivity. Why? Because the members of the group, they are not clicking together. Okay, they do not have any values or norms that are guiding them, or they have, but all of them, they are very low. Cohesiveness very low, the norms are very low. It means the impact on productivity, then it will be very low. Okay, then let's say we have got high group cohesiveness, okay, and we have got low norms. What will happen in the factory? High cohesiveness, it means that the employees have got a good regard on each other. Okay, they are very concerned about each other. Maybe they're clicking very well, right? That's very correct. But they do not have values that guide their decisions. Okay, it means the impact on productivity actually will be negative, or this will negatively impact on the worker productivity. Okay, clicking very well, but they do not have a great set of values that they are working towards. So actually, it means the impact on productivity will be negative. Okay, this is a typical gang, a gang of thieves. Okay, they click very much, but they have low or little to no norms that are actually guiding them. So there will be a group in a group. Okay, so it means that um, the impact on productivity in this case will actually be negative, right? Then let's move on to on the far left. We have got the high norms. Okay, high norms. I think you are actually following them. High norms and low group cohesiveness. Okay, this is obvious. Some positive impact. Why? We're saying they have got high values that they treasure as a group. They treasure values, certain principle, let's say integrity, okay, or punctuality is one of their values that they are treasuring, all right? Or maybe let's say teamwork is their values, their norms, all right? So it means what is going to happen now, they've got high norms, but they have got, well, the group cohesiveness is actually low. It means this somehow will promote what we call individualism within this group. Okay, it means the success of individual matters most to the individual, not to the group. So actually, there is no concern for each other. So it means this will have some positive impact on productivity, right? Remember, in business studies, we agreed that 1 + 1, the answer will actually give us 3. It will not give us 2. So we're saying an individual is no much better than the group. Okay, 1 + 1, the answer in business will actually give us 3. Okay, so we're saying the individual is no much better than the group. Okay, so if they've got high norms that they treasure so much, but there is no cohesiveness, so there is no much teamwork, so there is individualism within this, and the result of 1 + 1 will actually give us 2, and which is not a good result in business. Okay, so there will be some positive impact on productivity, but this will not be high impact. Okay, the one that is very critical in this regard is highlighted by Professor Elton Mayo is when a group has high norms and the group cohesiveness is also high, this will actually promote a high positive impact on productivity. They're clicking very well. They've got norms that guide the decision. It means actually this will bring a positive impact on productivity. All right, I think you're actually following what is actually happening. I think you can actually see that in the 1924, way back, this Professor Elton Mayo and the team were actually thinking, okay, they brought a significant change in the approach to which the human resource management can actually undertake the activities in the modern industry. Okay, I think we can actually proceed to the next slide that I prepared for you. I know you can actually learn a lot from this. Okay, all right. let's see the conclusion of this now. I think you can actually, I think from after following what I've been sharing with you, you can actually see that, you know, the conclusion was something else that actually changed the whole approach to human resource management. So the Hawthorne effect states that the conclusion that they got after this experiment is that when managers decide to monitor the workforce, it means the employee's behavior will actually what? Change. In fact, when someone is watching you while you are working on a task, then you may even be more focused and perform a lot better. Imagine you are a student and you are studying in the university library, and you have got the librarian actually monitoring you. Okay, somehow you will not be tempted to sleep. Why? Because you feel that somebody is actually monitoring me, or someone is somehow concerned about how I'm studying. So actually, you become more focused, and uh, actually, you know, you utilize every second, every minute productively. Okay. And then also this issue of social concern is critical in worker motivation. It's very critical to show concern, right? Remember the principle that was um, developed by Taylor. It's a principle, the economic man, that man is motivated by money, right? The principle of economic man. That's very fine. Money can actually drive workers to work extra hard. But this principle is actually giving us, this experiment is actually giving us other results that needs also our attention. So how do we apply this? If you're a manager, right? Let me try to get a pen maybe to finish off, right? If you are a manager, you're a supervisor, you need to promote teamwork, okay? Teamwork. You need to promote what? Teamwork, right? Team working and group working must be encouraged as a manager. I think these are some of the points that you need to take from this. Teamwork is very critical, right? Where there is no teamwork, then it means there is